Welcome to First Methodist Church in Marianna, Florida. It is one of our Harvest Host stops.
Welcome back, Edel Campers. I'm Fred.
And I'm Mary. We explore, experience, and educate.
Because it's not too late to believe in Jesus.
That's the truth. So we are at a Harvest Host, which is a church. Not always wineries, but they have churches and farms and attractions. When you come into town, you'll see the First Methodist Church. You'll see the Methodist Youth Center. It's beside the First United Methodist Church Harrison Administration Building that you will park as a Harvest Host guest. The guy next to us, Patrick, is a volunteer. They only have one Harvest Host spot per night. And they have 50 amp power on the back. So this is the box where you can stick if you want to do a small donation. So on this Methodist campus, I call it a campus because there's like tons of buildings here. And by this church there is a little pantry. So if you're here, you might want to donate into that a little bit. Leave some food for the community. They have a little basketball area. The hoop's not up, but it's still a great place to play if you have kids or do little activities. The playground.
I'm Nathan.
Nathan.
Very
Attwood.
nice to meet you. I'm the pastor.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here?
Well, we are kind of old-fashioned United Methodist Church, but we do a lot of ministry in the community. Our town was impacted by Hurricane Michael. It was Category 5 when it hit the coast, and it was still a low 4, high 3 when it hit here, and took out 85% of the trees in town. And so we've been doing a lot of work to help our town come back together. We've built 11 homes, and we've done repair work in about 700 homes, and we've served several thousand people. And I guess you've met Patrick, who's got the pop-up. He lives in New Hampshire, and he comes in the wintertime and stays here and does mission work. So we've got another lady, Cheryl, who just came this year with us. Well, one time we had Patrick, Cheryl, 2 RVs here, and then somebody came on the other side there, because there was one Harvest Host.
Wow, yeah.
There was one. The United Methodist Church has got a sort of mission RV ministry called Nomads. So there was one of those, and then there was somebody else who wasn't affiliated with either one of those, but worked at a Methodist church and just called us. So at one point we had 5 vehicles, like a whole community out here.
Nice.
So, and everybody was getting to know each other and all that. We have a total of 4 buildings on campus. We've got the administration building, it's the Harrison building, the sanctuary and education building is over here. Then the Wesley building is a big building on the far corner, and that's big enough that we've had worship there and we have our meals there. And then the youth building is a multi-purpose educational space where we do youth ministry, but also Sunday school. And 2 people in our church who are interested in joining the church who live out of state and have never been here.
For the online.
But when we went online with everything during COVID, everything came back in person, but we built relationships with some of these people. Mostly they're like friends or relatives of people who are part of our physical, in-person community. We're like, oh, look, hey, there's this Bible study. And the way we do all of our online stuff is very interactive, so people have formed relationships, and we've got a Thursday Bible study where it's Zoom, so everybody's talking to each other, as well as a group that's in person. Most of our online offerings are on the Facebook page, but on the website there's a Facebook icon. Click on that, it takes you to
I'll have to check
where
that
all
out.
Stuff is. But yeah, when the hurricane came, the air pressure was so powerful. There were gables, there were brick, and air pressure sucked them in.
Oh, wow.
So those are new windows that were designed to be exactly like what was there before, but it just collapsed those. My dad and I actually tarped those gables ourselves. The hurricane did over $400,000 in damage. The dome up there, that copper dome, was blown to pieces, had to be completely
that Ida?
Sir?
Was it Ida?
It was a Michael.
Oh, Michael.
Yeah. It was a Category 5 when it hit Panama City, Mexico Beach actually, and it was a high 3, low 4 when it hit our area. We're 40 miles inland.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the case that no hurricane has ever been that powerful in the United States that far inland because it was moving so fast.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
So the doors were blown off the hinges. And lying on the ground here when I came up. Well, actually, there were some people up here and they propped them up and got new doors.
Good. See, there's always some positive.
Right. So I was here when we built this. We built this in my first year, and I didn't like those doors anyway. This is an award we got for being the top supporting church for the children's home.
Wow.
For the Florida Panhandle, the United Methodist Children's Home embraces Florida's kids. So
It's beautiful.
they award a church every year for being the church that has done the most to support them. It's set up so that as many people as possible can be as close to me as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a wonderful room for preaching. And this was renovated, the renovation was completed in 2017. It had thick green carpet. We pulled that up, exposed the wood floors, and rebuilt the balcony. The chancel was all rebuilt. The pews were completely redone. They were green when I got here.
Wow.
And then immediately afterwards, we put in a TV system because we have got wonderful volunteers for our TV stuff. But they used to put something up on YouTube, and they would have little tripods. And so we put in a whole new system, having no idea that COVID was coming. So when COVID came, all we had to do was go live, and we had a brand new TV system. Even though we're a smaller church, we had
It gives me goosebumps.
top-notch online presence for this whole time when we had no people in here. So it's continued to be a great connection, even as the people are back. You know, that window was given to memorialize a young person who passed away over 100 years ago. It's just beautiful.
It is.
I had a person in the church say, I grew up in this church, and when I was baptized, she was looking at me. When I got married, she was looking at me. When I baptized my children, she was watching. When I buried my parents, she was watching. You know, when I was a teenager and acting up in the back, there she was. My whole life she's been watching me. That's over the sanctuary. And that's the dome that was blown to pieces and had to be completely reconstructed after the hurricane. So, yeah. And it's real copper. So
That wasn't cheap.
our trustee chairman at that time was wise enough to take all the old copper and store it in the basement. Because of the hurricane, the price of all kinds of scrap metal went because it was everywhere.
Right.
And we hung on to it for 2 years. And then turned around and sold it. This building has got a commercial grade kitchen.
Wow.
So it gets used by the whole community. Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Have breakfast here for the teams every Friday morning during the school year. Many times this has had to be the sanctuary for the church. During the renovation, it was a sanctuary. For the hurricane, it was a sanctuary. No, that's not true. We were able to stay in there after the hurricane, but with COVID in here, we could space people out.
Yeah.
So it became the sanctuary again. That building is an administrative building, and there are some ministry things we do in there. Like, you know, all of our offices are there, and we've got a conference room, so all of our church meetings happen there. And we have an old people's choir. Probably shouldn't call it that. It's called the Songsters. They sing in the community, and they practice in there. You know, we've got a Bible study that happens in there. So
you got a lot going on in all the buildings.
All the time. I believe that every inch of the church should be used every minute of the day.
I believe that too. So not only did we get a nice place to stay, but Pastor Nathan brought us out cool cups from the First United Methodist Church of Marianna.
All right, it's time for the First United Methodist Church Cellular Service Report. Once again, T-Mobile astounds me with its 5G speeds at 260 megabits per second down. Very nice. Guess which one I was using. Anyway, AT&T's at 27.3, pretty good too, and Verizon comes in at 6.12, still a usable signal, so not too bad, sitting here in the parking lot. But go out and have a little fun, take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time.